gonna make a permanent wave. Is gonna be a basic wrap. The tools that we're gonna be using, the tools are gonna be the permanent rods, the toothpicks, the clips, the mannequin, and the comb. Okay. We did the 9 sections. I already did them for you, but I'm gonna explain that you have to use the perm rod to kind of like guide you to see how much in the first section, which is the most important one. You see the teeth right here. You don't put any hair there. You just got to do it from that point to this point. And then how much is going to be the length of the rod. Once you get this one right, the rest are going to be done fine. Okay, this is going to be a basic wrap. What we're going to do, we're going to use the diameter of the rod to determine how much subsection we're going to be taking to put on the rod. So this will be the diameter, and this will be the amount of hair that you will be choosing for that rod. You want to make sure by putting the hair to the side and placing this rod over here, and you're going to be doing the flat method of the papers right here, one on top of the other. And the most important thing is that you want to take it all the way to the ends, and you're going to spread your fingers this way, and you're going to place the rod right between your fingers, and you're going to make sure that the ends are right in there, making a nice curve. And then you are going to roll it up like this. Place the rubber band right behind the rod, and that will be it. Okay, over here you're going to fit at least 3 rods. Again, we are going to do flat, double. You want to put it right on top. You're going to take it all the way to the ends. Place your fingers open like this. Put it in there. Go like this. You have to learn how to use all your fingers. And you are going to move the hair this way so you can make that nice little S curl that is going to be required to make that pattern. Again, put the paper there, put this one on top. Make sure that you drag it all the way down to the ends. Don't leave the ends out. And you are going to make this end straight right there. Use all your fingers and wrap it up. Okay. Okay. It's just repeating the same situation. Make sure that the hair is nice and straight, that you're pulling it, putting some tension on it. Getting those ends is very important. And just grab all that hair there and wrap it up behind the rod. That's where we're going to put this right here. Again, we are going to continue doing this. For this perm, if you practice the right way and you do it all the time till you at least reach 8 minutes to wrap it. Okay, if you want to make money in this business, you have to practice for speed, neatness, precision, everything that you need to get this done. Again, we are still working on the diameter. Okay, make sure that you have enough hair for that for the size of the rod, and you are making nice clean sections. Go like this. Same thing all over. Stretch your fingers, get those ends in there, and wrap it up. You gotta be neat, fast, and for that, practice is what you need to do all the time. So at the nail with the size of these rods, we're doing 3 rods on each section. Put all the hair all the time away because you don't want that hair to be disturbing you as you work, because that will take you some time, and time is money in this business. now what we did was we did all the 8 sections. We only have one left, and I wanted you to see how it's done. This one's here in the front. We put the buttons in the front because we don't want you to have it on this side, because when you open it up they could hit the person's eyes. So we put the button to the front, so when you open it, it goes to the back and doesn't hurt the person. Okay, so we're gonna do the front. You have a choice. You could do them to the back or you could do them to the front. This hair will always fall to the front no matter what. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it to the front. And I start right here. Get those ends really close, very good. Get all those fingers to work. Always button it in the back with the elastic. Always goes to the back. And then over here, we just continue bringing the hair up because it's the top section. Learn to use all your fingers because that's going to be very helpful. How long you have to take to do a perm like this? If you practice 8 minutes, can you imagine making a perm that could only take you 8 minutes to wrap? You're going to be making a lot of money. But that takes a lot of practice. 1 time, 2 times is not going to do it. Okay. Okay, 1 more to go. Paper from here. Rods, which I haven't done, but I want to give you that little trick. And you think that you need to wrap it up and you don't have enough rods, what you're going to do is you're just going to wrap it up like you would if you were going to use a rod, a regular size of this rod, and you're going to use this, a regular roller. You are going to wrap it up like if you were doing a roller set, and then you take whatever rod you have on your hands, you put it inside the rod, the roller, and just wrap it up right there. So that means that you shouldn't leave no one leave because you don't have the size of the rod that you need. Okay, and that's it. This is done. So the next step is to take the toothpicks, okay, and you want to lift those stretchies out of the rod. You don't want that to be on the hair because the hair might break. Okay, you want enough tension. You don't want to wrap it too much. You don't want to put too much pressure on it, too much tension, but you want to make sure that you have that done right. So you could use 2 or 3 rods and put a toothpick, lift the stretchy and just put it right on the pig, and you're lifting the hair out of the way. That will be done for all around the head. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna put a little bit of cholesterol or maybe a little bit of conditioner, and you're gonna put this cotton around the hairline like this. I like to wrap it around the roller like that, and then you are going to put it around the ear. So when you apply the solution, it will not drip in the face. You have to change this cotton twice. You cannot just leave it there and stand there. Once you are ready to put the plastic, then you go ahead and take the old cotton that is wet and put a clean one, okay? And then you put a plastic over it, and the person is ready to process. Okay, that will be to do the perm. Once you do it and you process it for the time that you need to be processed according to the directions and the way the hair is, the porosity and the elasticity and everything, all the factors that you need to consider before you choose the right solution. Once you go for the process and the timing, you remove it with a lot of clean water for at least 5 minutes. You remove all this, you rinse it out real good, you towel dry, and then you neutralize for 5 minutes. I finished the wrap. This is what I show you at the end of the whole thing, but today we decided to go ahead and do a perm. So I'm gonna apply the solution, okay, and then I'm gonna come back and put this plastic over again because it needs to be covered. We have the waving lotion. Okay, I decided to use this one here as an exothermic because this is a mannequin and it has a good strong hair, and we are going to use it with the activator. Always make sure that you put the neutralizer away, because if you put the activator, if you put it in the neutralizer by mistake, it will explode in your hands, okay? It will give you some damage. This is the thermalizer for the neutralizer, and this one here is what we're going to be using for the perming solution. Okay, we're going to put the activator, part 1, part 2 right here, and it's going to start getting nice and warm because it's an exothermic perm. We are going to shake it a little bit, okay? We don't shake it too much, too fast. And we are going to go ahead and place the nozzle, the applicator, and we're going to cut it. You got to be careful when you cut it. You make sure that it's nice and straight, that you don't put it in angle, because when you apply it, it's going to the stream is going to go to one direction. Okay, the way I apply it, I start in the back and I go 3 rounds. Okay, that means that I'm going to make sure that I get all the ones. I put a little bit out as I go, a little bit at a time, okay? And I make sure that I stop and I remember where I stop. And then I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna do the same thing. A little bit at a time. Then I'm gonna come to this side over here. And I'm gonna do the same thing. Over here. That you give your customer a towel so she could help herself if she has anything, any drips coming to her face. And then we are going to do this one right here. Make sure that you make the person goes a little bit backwards like this, and then you keep on applying. Do it 3 times. So this is my second time. If I miss one in the first round, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make sure that in the second round I will wet it down and I know that the lotion is there. I already went around 3 times. You don't see no drips or anything, because that's the way to keep that all that water coming to people's faces, doing it 3 times, a little bit at a time, instead of like a lot of stream on the from the lotion. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait till all that drip coming to the paper, cotton, and I'm gonna remove the cotton. I don't see the person there with the cotton. I make sure I remove all that because it's wet. If you see, it's nice and wet. So, and we are going to apply dry cotton now. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to take the plastic and we're going to put it over the person's hair right here. Now we do not have to put her under the dryer because we use an exothermic, which is an alkaline perm. It's one of those alkaline perms from these times, which he has conditioners, he has glycerin, and it's a good perm. Okay, so but it doesn't require any kind of heat, so we're going to let it process at least 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll come back and rinse it out. Okay, it's been 15 minutes already, and what we are going to do now is we're going to rinse it out. What I'm going to show you is that I want to explain that you don't want to wait till it's 15 minutes. You want to start getting to the shampoo bowl in 10 minutes. Or if it's 20 minutes, you do it in 15 minutes. Because by the time I get to the shampoo bowl and I prepare the water, prepare the customer and everything, it might get over processed, especially if it's an alkaline perm. Okay? At this point, we're ready to start rinsing the primer right now. So we're going to remove the plastic and we're going to put all this in the garbage. We cannot reuse it. And we are going to remove the cotton. And what we're going to do now, we're going to rinse the person's hair with water, nice and warm, okay? And we're now, we don't want to use too much hot water or too cold. It has to be nice and warm. And we make sure that we don't wet the person's face. So we could take a towel and we could cover the person's face like this. Okay, and we're gonna start removing. What I like doing is I like to do this and do it fast all around, so we could stop the process of the chemical. Make sure you don't wet the person's face. Make sure that the person is comfortable and just keep on rinsing for 5 minutes, okay? And we are going to make sure that we remove the excess. Why we have to remove all the excess? As much as we can, because we don't want the neutralizer to get diluted, because then it's not strong enough to do the neutralizing process. So we make sure that we remove all the excess water. Some people put them under the dryer. Make sure that it's cold air that you're going to be placing the person under. You don't want to have no warm air or anything like that. You're going to remove all the excess water. You can also take paper and just remove, blot it dry with paper. Okay. Yes, now we're going to be neutralizing the hair, because this is what's going to fix the perm or the S-curl in a new position now. And it says do not use alone, use with thermalizer. This is the thermalizer. We're going to mix it with this, and we are going to shake it a little bit. We're not going to do it too fast, and we are going to apply it on the hair so we can neutralize that hair at the new position. Okay, we're going to mix these two things. And guys, it's getting nice and warm. This one gets nice and warm. Point right there, and we're getting ready to neutralize. Again, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put cotton all around. Again, we are going to make sure that we protect the person's hairline and her face. Give the customer a towel so she could take care of any drips. And we are going to start neutralizing, starting from the back, just like we did with the lotion. Okay, we are going to make sure that we apply again 3 times. And this is only for 5 minutes. The hair is getting neutralized, it's getting fixed into the new position, because now the hair is not going to be straight anymore. It was placed under this on the perm rods, and now it's going to be curly when we finish. We stopping the action with the neutralization. We're also reforming the hair into the new pattern, which is an S curl. And now in 5 minutes, which is going to be already maybe 3 minutes, because we already did it a little before, and we are going to start taking this off, the toothpicks. Okay, we cannot wait for too long, because the hair will start shrinking, because this is acid. The neutralizer is acid, so if we wait a lot of time, the hair will shrink and it will get damaged. So it's 5 minutes. Once it gets 5 minutes, we're gonna start rinsing it out a little bit. Remove the rods and rinse it out and condition it. No shampoo, because it was already shampooed from the beginning. You cannot do a perm without getting shampoo and condition. Now we're gonna remove the cotton, okay, and we're gonna get the person ready, okay, to rinse out some of these perm solutions out of the hair. Okay. So, okay, my assistant is gonna help me here. And it hasn't been 5 minutes yet, but as soon as it hits 5 minutes, we're gonna start rinsing it out. Nice and warm, no cold, no hot. And I'm gonna start doing the back, because we did the back first, so I know that is done already. This is gonna be a nice soft curl, because we use big rods. If we would have used smaller rods, it would have been even curlier and tighter. So you're not gonna see like a big curl pattern, but a nice soft body wave. Now when you're removing this, you need to take the paper in one hand and put the rod on the other side, because what happens is if you take it off with the paper, then it's going to be harder to remove. You're going to have more time to do it, so it's better to do this as you go. Paper in one hand and the rods. And then after we do all this, we're going to put a little bit of conditioner on, and we are going to go ahead and rinse it out again, and we'll show you the finished product. Okay. No paper. We already removed all the paper. And we are going to place them in the tray. Get rid of them. Hairline. Make sure that I neutralize the hairline real good, just in case it wasn't neutralized when we did it. Because that happens when the hair start breaking and all that stuff. It was because the neutralizing process was not done right. Okay. Then we're gonna rinse it out real good. And we are going to condition the hair. bubbles coming down on the bowl, that means that you still have some soap or soap kind of the chemical in there. So we have to continue rinsing out until there's no bubbles, okay? Take this, and we are going to make sure that we get everything out. It's a pick because we cannot use any brush. This hair cannot be brushed. It cannot be straightened. It cannot be blow dry. The only thing that you could do is a roller set, and you have to put like a kind of like a cold air, not hot air, because this hair is still neutralizing. It takes 3 days to neutralize. 48 to 72 hours. That's what it takes to neutralize. You could put a curl activator, a leave-in conditioner, but you cannot do anything else. And the person has to be advised that they cannot shampoo the hair for at least 3 days. Okay, because it's still in the neutralizing process. Okay, that is the curl that you get. It's a pleasure for me to give you this. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned from this. Keep on practicing. This is your finished product. It's a nice, beautiful body perm. I did it with a lot of love, and I wish you the best in your careers. Please practice.